I don't care who you root for. I don't care what team you're a fan of. The Damian Lillard trade to Milwaukee is literally the most exciting basketball news we've had in ages. With all the debacle that just happened with Dame requesting a trade, showing us he only wants to go to Miami. That's out of the window. That boy is a Milwaukee Buck. And guys, I need you to understand something. The trade package isn't there for anybody, but this changes the faces of three different franchises. Three different franchises. Guys, stick around. I'm going to break down how each of the teams have been transformed in less than 24 hours. Let's get it. Starting off with the Milwaukee Bucks. Guys, let me just say this. I'm not a Milwaukee Bucks fan, but I might be. But I might be this year. They have literally just constructed the best big three in all of basketball. You can't tell me otherwise. Literally, the best defense that you've had for Giannis is building a wall, putting 3 or 4 people in the paint to make sure he doesn't get through. You can't do that with Damian Lillard on the floor. You can't do that. He's going to stretch your defense all the way out to 35 feet, and now you got a full lane. A full head of steam Giannis coming down into the lane every single time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is over. I'm usually not one of those people that say this early in the season. But a big three of Dame, Giannis, and Chris Middleton becomes the hardest offense to slow down. And we know that the Phoenix Suns are still a really talented team. We'll get to them later. Trust me, we're going to get to them later because they made some big upgrades. And let's go back to Chris Middleton. You mean to tell me we truly have a team that has elite scorers on all 3 levels? No one's going to stop Chris Middleton in the mid-range. No one's going to stop Damian Lillard from shooting from the parking lot. No one is going to stop Giannis from dunking on every single big man in the league. Guys, yeah, they lost some pieces. They lost Grayson Allen. Who cares? No offense. Who cares? This doesn't really slow down much. They've shredded some weight. Yes, Drew Holiday is the best defender in the league, but we also saw him get cooked. As a person who doesn't believe in defense the way I used to, this is a severe upgrade. The only thing you're missing is somebody that can stop somebody at the point of attack, and they'll figure that out at some point. They have one of the best paint defenses in recent history. You mean to tell me you got Giannis on one end, you got Brook Lopez on the other, protecting the rim, and now the team has to go back on the other side, deal with all of the spacing that Dame adds and everybody else does. The lane is going to be so wide open. It's going to be so wide open for Giannis, bro. I can't wait. Let's go ahead and switch gears. Let's switch gears. Oh, Phoenix. Phoenix just got better too, y'all. This addition by subtraction is going to be very interesting. Now, they have went ahead and went full on, we don't need a big anymore. Don't think that's a great idea considering who the best players in this league are. You're going to run into an elite center at some point. You can't get through the Western Conference without running into an elite big man. You got to run into Anthony Davis at some point. I'm not a huge fan, but if you don't have the size, he's going to eat you alive. We all know what Jokic is. Who is going to slow down Jokic? It ain't going to be anybody that's coming off that bench. It ain't going to be Kevin Durant. You've given up a lot, but you shored up those wings with guys like Grayson Allen. That is a very underrated move because looking at their signings, And looking at the roster, ain't no defense over there. This literally feels like Nets 2.0, except they actually have the players around their talent where stuff is going to get scary for other teams, man. And they have plenty of guys that they can roll out who are veterans and veteran shooters at that. So the space is going to be plentiful there. It's just going to, if one of their superstars is having a night and they have competent players around them that can play defense and shoot the ball, we're going to see a lot of 120, 110s, possibly even some 130s from this team. This Phoenix team is going to be very interesting. I need to actually see them on the court to give like a full diagnosis, but this feels like a top 5 team out west, easy. And I'm giving a lot of slack on purpose here, just because I've already been in this situation with a Kevin Durant-led team that doesn't have a lot of defense around it. It gets ugly quick, especially in big games. So I just need to see a little bit more, and thank God we're like 3 weeks away from preseason games. I know it's not the same, but we get to see something. Now, the real winners of this whole situation is not Milwaukee. It's not Phoenix. It's the Trailblazers. I know what you think. You just gave up probably the best player you didn't had in like 50 years for your franchise. You've given up a little bit of draft capital. Who cares? DeAndre Ayton is well worth a first-round pick at this point. He has cemented himself as a starting center and possibly even a borderline all-star starting center. Depends on what you like out of a player. It also depends on the day that you get DeAndre Ayton. But the fact that Ayton and Scoot Henderson are not teamed up gives you one of the best young pick-and-roll combinations in the entire league. Ayton already knows what to do as a big. He's what, 25, 26? Like, he's established here. And now Scoot, who's already a pretty prolific dude in the pick and roll, has a major target who can get stuff done. Look, and getting rid of Nurkic, as a person who I don't find Nurkic appealing. I barely like him when he's on the floor. And in the last few years, he hasn't spent a lot of time on the floor. So you mean to tell me we get somebody in Ayton who is more consistent on a game-to-game basis and from a health standpoint on a team, a young rebuilding team with talented guards all around him. And one of those guys is a pass-first point guard that everyone seems to agree is that dude. Look, this is an amazing trade. Like, and this is coming from someone who thought the offseason was a bit boring. Understand when I say that, I don't mean there weren't good moves made, that there weren't solid additions, there weren't solid subtractions, there weren't good draft picks. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying the off-the-court stuff, the drama that plagues the NBA was way more entertaining than anything that actually happened when it comes to signing a contract. And that, my friends, oh, I'm so excited. Not only that, Scoot gets to be mentored by one of the best defenders in the entire NBA. All of those young guards finally get to see what it looks like to strap somebody up on the regular. So every tough offensive player that will come to Portland for the next few years has to go through Drew Holiday. And again, I know I said what I said earlier about defense not being all that important if somebody is an automatic bucket. Not everybody in the league is an automatic bucket against the best defensive players in the NBA. So it just feels like a great mentorship role. And it's good for everyone all over. I can't think of the last time I've seen a trade where everybody wins, where I'm not scratching my head to figure out if anybody came out on the right side of this. Everybody did what they were supposed to do, and they did it at a pretty elite level. Like I can't think of a better trade in my time of watching the NBA, and I've been locked in since like '03. Like this is special, guys. Like there's no reason to be mad unless you're a Miami Heat fan. And if you're a Miami Heat fan, you thought you was gonna come out on the other side. Oh, nice. The NBA is not for the hopeful. It's not, man. Look. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we finally got some motion. And I know they've been talking a lot about how things are gonna shake out this week. And we've been hearing that for like 2 months. I did not expect to get that notification from Woj. That's the best Woj bomb. That's the best Woj bomb I have gotten in years. And that's coming from somebody who cried when I found out Kevin Durant was going to the Golden State Warriors. You mean to tell me I finally got one that got me cheering? Before I turn into a full fan here, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead, like, subscribe. You can tell that this season is going to be really good, or at least entertaining. And if you like entertaining stuff and you want to be entertained when they're not on the court, go ahead and click that subscribe button, like this video. You're going to have plenty more content. When I say plenty, I mean plenty more content coming your way this season. I promise you that. And go Bucks, baby. Go Bucks.